And by the way, the name Hosea means he saved. So it's a good name. All right? Let me go and get our cast members here. Okay, and so if you can first, please give a hand to Hosea. Hosea, come on out. You can just stand up here if you want. All right, Hosea. The word of the Lord comes to you, and look in verse 2, every one of your Bibles, and this is what we're going to read. When the Lord began to speak through Hosea, the Lord said to him, "Go take to yourself an adulterous wife and children of unfaithfulness, because the land is guilty of the vilest adultery in departing from the Lord." Okay, in the land, something that was going on that you need to know was many of the people were worshiping a god called Baal. And one of the ways they worshiped this god called Baal was through sex. And they would go to the temple, and they would pay money for a prostitute, and that was considered worshiping God. And which, by the way, through the centuries, this has been a practice of many different false religions and cults still happening today. Read the Da Vinci Code, and actually you'll even find it in there. And so prostitution was a big thing, and what made it even worse was they were claiming it was godly and worship. And so God is not very happy about that. And Hosea, here's what he says. He says, "Go find yourself an adulterous wife." How are you feeling about that? That's a little weird, is it not? It's way weird that God would ask you to do that, because typically God, I don't think, by the way, don't take this as like marriage advice today, okay? Please. So, verse 3, let's see what happens. So he married Gomer, daughter of Diblaim, and she conceived and bore him a son. So please, everyone, welcome Gomer, the prostitute. All right, Gomer, go ahead and come on up here if you would. Woo! All right, that's Gomer. And by the way, Gomer, nice name. And she was the daughter of Diblaim, D-I-B-L-A-I-M. That was your dad. And by the way, your dad's name means compressed fig cakes. So not only do you have a bad name, but you have a father who's basically named Fig Newton. Actually, later on in the book, Hosea tells the people to quit praising Baal for the raisin cakes. Raisin cakes were like a delicacy food, and when they would get them, they would praise Baal and saying, "Baal has provided these raisin cakes for us." And so they were basically praising like raisin cakes in front of God. And isn't it funny, all the stupid things that we put in front of God, like even Fig Newtons in front of God, we begin to worship them instead of God. It's almost as stupid as like putting, I don't know, say a car in front of God, or a job, or a boyfriend, or a girlfriend, or a house, or money, or a team, or anything in front of God. Basically, if you put something in front of God, it's about as dumb as putting a Fig Newton in front of God, which is what some of the Israelites were doing. So anyway, God told Hosea, "Go find yourself an adulteress and marry her." And he did. I mean, he did not protest. He did not say, "Wait a second, God, can you find somebody else for this?" He did it. Is that not amazing obedience to God? I mean, we gripe about the smallest things, and he just went and did this. So he knew that she would bring him embarrassment. She would not be a good mom, I'm figuring, for a man. But Hosea was willing to say to Gomer, "I love you, adulterer." Okay, so please give a hand to the firstborn, Jezreel. Jezreel, please come out. All right, come on up here, Jezreel. And we're going to read about you. If you have your Bibles, Hosea chapter 1.